Hello and welcome. This is a quick reference guide to completing your Exceptional Family Member DD 2792 Medical Summary Enrollment and Update Form. The video will be short and to the point. Please feel free to pause this video at any time to take notes on the sections you would like to review in more detail. Please note the following. If you are completing this form for purposes of disenrollment, please speak with your family caseworker prior to beginning that process. If you're completing this form as a primary care provider for purposes of disenrollment, you must note that previously identified conditions no longer require specialty care follow-up. For purposes of this presentation, the term person of majority age refers to an exceptional family member over the age of 18. Anyone over the age of 18 and a legal adult must sign these documents. It cannot be the sponsor unless you have legal custody. There are several options for you to obtain the DD Form 2792 Medical Summary. You can stop into your local EFMP office and ask your family caseworker for blank copies. You can have your family caseworker fax them to you. You can have your family caseworker email them to you. They can also be found on our website. Our web address is listed here. Please pause this video to take note of the web address now. Using your internet search engine of choice, enter MCCS Lejeune-New River. Use the top drop-down menu and select Marine and Family. Under Services, find Exceptional Family Member Program. Scroll down, find Forms, and here are all the available DD forms for your enrollment and update. We will now review the DD Form 2792 Family Member Medical Summary. The first few pages are general description of each section within the form and instructions on how to complete them. Please review the first few pages prior to meeting with your care provider. On page 1, you'll see a Privacy Act statement, followed by the Authorization for Disclosure of Medical Information section. By completing page 1 under the Authorization for Disclosure of Medical Information, you are authorizing the suitability screener and the EFMP to use the information provided on this form to determine whether there are adequate medical, housing, and community resources to meet the medical needs of the exceptional family member at the sponsor's proposed duty location. It also provides permission for your care provider to release the information directly to your family caseworker via fax or email, avoiding delaying your update or your enrollment. In the first fillable space, please list the name of your medical treatment facility, the dental treatment facility, or the civilian provider that will be completing your enrollment or update. At the bottom of the page, please add the name of the family member being enrolled. If the family member is a child, either the sponsor or an alternative guardian may sign. Describe the relationship and date. If the family member is the spouse or a person of majority age, they must sign, describing the relationship as self and date. This instruction is provided because of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. Page 2 is the demographic certification information to be completed by the sponsor, parent or guardian, or patient if they are a person of majority age. In Section 1, describe the purpose of the completion of this form. Section 2 is family member or patient information. Section 3 is sponsor information. Section 4 is additional military information. Section 5 is DEERS enrollment information. Section 6 is case management services. And Section 7 is for any medically necessary equipment. Most of page 3 will be completed by EFMP administrative staff. However, please ensure the top family member patient name, sponsor name, and the last 4 of the sponsor's social is listed. In section 11, after your care providers have completed all of the DD 2792 form, you will review it for accuracy. If you are satisfied, you will print, sign, and date it as being accurately completed. Pages 4 through 7 are your medical summary, to be completed by a qualified medical professional. Pages 4 and 5 allow the qualified medical professional to describe a primary diagnosis and has enough space for up to 3 secondary diagnoses. If you need additional space, please make copies of page 5 to add additional diagnoses. Additionally, please ensure all specialty care and current referrals are noted on page 6. The frequency of visit to each specialty care provider is significant at Headquarters Marine Corps when determining the suitability at the next duty station for the sponsor. This must be completed accurately. Please take the time to complete page 6 properly. At the conclusion of page 7, please ensure that the care provider completes a printed or stamped name, signature, date, along with accurate contact information. If Headquarters Marine Corps needs to follow up with any questions, this contact information will be used. Page 8 is the Addendum 1. Should only be completed if the patient has asthma or reactive airway disease. It will be completed by a qualified medical provider. Once that qualified medical provider has completed this section, he or she will need to print, stamp, sign, date, and include accurate contact information. Again, this contact information is vital if Headquarters Marine Corps has any follow-up questions for the provider. On pages 9 and 10 is the Mental Health Summary, or Addendum 2, to be completed by a qualified clinical provider. Once the qualified clinical provider completes page 9 and 10, they must also print, stamp, sign, date, and include accurate contact information. Again, that contact information is vital if Headquarters Marine Corps needs to reach out for additional questions. Page 11 is Addendum 3 and only needs to be completed if the patient has autism, spectrum disorder, and significant developmental delays. It needs to be completed by a qualified medical professional. At the end of page 11, the qualified medical professional will provide a printed name or stamp, signature, date, and include accurate contact information. Again, this contact information is vital in case Headquarters Marine Corps needs to reach out for any additional questions. We are going to spend a few additional moments on page 7 because of the impact it can have on military families and issuing orders. Section 23 allows the medical provider to identify artificial openings on the body and/or prosthetics. If this applies, please mark all that are applicable. Section 24 allows the medical provider to identify medically indicated environmental and/or architectural considerations. It's important that your care provider be as specific as possible when completing this section. These specific notes will help gain access to a base house that best meets families' needs. Let's review a few items listed in Section 24. For example, limited steps. Limited steps can either identify a number of steps a patient is allowed to take and/or the number of stairway steps a patient is allowed to climb. Your care provider should describe a number to the amount of steps allowed. For air conditioning, temperature control, It is best if the care provider describes the range of temperatures needed to be maintained. These are just a few examples of the specifics needed in Section 24. Section 25, the care provider should identify all necessary adaptive equipment and special medical equipment needed for the patient. In the description of the equipment, please specify the type, make, or model of each necessary equipment. And Section 26 allows you to discuss with your care provider any additional considerations for the patient regarding daily living and any travel limitations. For example, a child may be a risk for elopement and needs a single-story house with limited egress points, or the patient cannot travel by plane. Those are just two examples of additional limitations described for a patient. Again, the doctor or medical provider should print or stamp their name, sign, and date. Also include the most accurate contact information. If headquarters Marine Corps has any questions, they will need to use this information to contact your care provider to clarify. Upon completion of the form, review it for accuracy. If you are satisfied with the accuracy of the form, please turn to page 3 of the form and sign it as the sponsor, guardian, or person of majority age. Take the completed form and submit it to your local EFMP office or your family caseworker for review. Once they are satisfied with the form, they will forward it to Headquarters Exceptional Family Member Program for review. A determination letter of enrollment or non-enrollment will be issued. The service member will receive this determination letter via email to their government service account or via postal service to the mailing address listed under the sponsor. Keep your determination letter. If your determination letter states enrollment, please ask your family caseworker how it can be beneficial to you and your exceptional family member. That concludes this video training. If you have any questions, please contact your local EFMP office or your family caseworker. Please take a moment to note the contact information provided here. Thank you and have a great day.